I even got an idea to stop a meltdown from happening. George, would you like to go down to Chinatown with me to watch me make the canes? I asked. Sure, George answered. We will drop the canes back off here, I said to Marcus and Sam. Fine, we will figure out what is going on here, said Marcus. Let's go kill two birds with one stone, I said. I then put my cloak on, George put his cloak on, and then we left to go down to the elevator terminal with our cloaks up. Where is Chinatown? George asked. We are going to Red Jackson and ride the Red Line 3 stops south, I answered. South? Yes, south. Why do you ask? I don't think I have ever been on the Red Line south. Well, it was the first time for everything. The elevator then pulled into the 7th floor, and we rode it down to the ground and left our building. Red Jackson? George asked again. Yes, red, I answered. We then rode the elevator down to the mezzanine, and then we scanned ourselves in, and then we went down to the Red Line, and there was the Red Line train heading south toward 95th and Ryan, pulling in, and then it was just a quick ride through Harrison Roosevelt to Chinatown, Cermak. Here we are, I said as our train was pulling into Chinatown and Cermak. Is this where we get off? George asked. Yes. We then boarded the train. Well, what way? George asked when we got to the platform. Left, I answered. We then went down to Cermak Road below and made a left turn. We went down to Cermak Road below and made a left turn, and we were at the costume shop. Hello, Hannah, said Mr. Lee, who was the man who runs the costume shop. This is my boyfriend's younger brother, I said. Hi, said George shyly. What have you come here for on a Sunday? Mr. Lee asked. I came here to make 3 canes, I said. I can make them for you for $75 total because I don't want you to do any work when you are not working, said Mr. Lee. I then got out my credit card. Here you go, I said, giving Mr. Lee my credit card. Thank you, said Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee then scanned my credit card. I'll get to work on them in a jiffy, said Mr. Lee. Can he watch you make them? I asked. No, because he is under the age of 13, said Mr. Lee. It's okay. I can walk up and down the aisle, said George. We then spent the next hour of George goofing off and trying on hats and masks, and then Mr. Lee said that the canes were ready. Thank you, I said. Any time for my favorite employee. Any time for my favorite employee, said Mr. Lee. We then left to go to Chinatown Cermak Red Line station, and there was a northbound train heading to Howard pulling in when we got to the platform. After that, it was a 5-minute ride through Roosevelt, Harrison, and then we got to Jackson. Hannah! George! Yelled Marcus from the other end of the platform. We saw Marcus and George looking and we saw Marcus and Sam looking and jumping at us, and then they literally flew down the platform. What are you two doing down here? I asked. Hiding, said Sam. Hiding? I asked. Yes, hiding. I don't like the sound of that, I said. She came in screaming at us, said Marcus. Wasn't screaming get out enough already? I asked. Yes, answered Marcus. Then why did she scream at you more? I asked. She claims she was atoning to Dad, answered Marcus. How? I asked. I think she feels like she is doing Dad wrong, answered Marcus. Where did she get that idea? I answered. She said it to me, Marcus said. Well, why would she feel that way? Why would she feel that way? Sam asked. It's probably because she is applying a lot of stress on Dad. By that is what married couples do, and I have never once seen Dad be upset about taking care of his sick wife, said Marcus. You've seen him cry, I reminded. That's partially my fault because the day I did the first time was the day after Dr. Morcassius appeared, said Marcus. I want to tell him to stop, but I didn't because I knew he would get mad. I need to figure out what to do, said Marcus. I am still trying to figure out why Dad was not upset, said Sam with enthusiasm. I think it was because he was being cuddled by our parents and are both cuddlers, said Marcus. Yep, said Sam. I mean, it is good at managing your sensory issues, said Marcus. Mine too, said George. I'm sure we can figure this out, said Sam. Anyhow, here are your canes, I said, giving Sam and George their canes. Thank you, said Sam. Thanks again, said George. You're welcome, I said. I think you should run up to Howard and begin to pack for tomorrow, said Marcus. That's just what I'm planning on doing, especially with the Red Line train heading to Howard pulling in now, I said. I then said my goodbyes and boarded the Red Line train, and then it was about 40 minutes before I pulled into Howard Station and walked into my parents' door. Hi, Hannah, said Peter, who was sitting at the table with my other dad, David. Hi, Peter. Hi, David, I said when I entered. Do you think you will be able to be a waitress tonight before you leave tomorrow to look at presidential monuments around Chicago? David asked. Sure, that's why I came back here, I answered. Thanks, said David. And you know I may be gone overnight, I asked. As long as you are responsible about it, we don't care, Peter said. Good, I said. Even though it violated my Sabbath day rule, and I didn't tell my parents about it, I did do work as a waitress for the next few hours, and in my cloak, I got enough in tips to score a hotel room for if I am gone overnight. After that was over, I went up to my bedroom and began to pack, and then I heard of a knock on the door. Come in, I said. It was my dad, Peter. What is up, I asked. Nothing much, but I just want to talk with you about something, Peter answered. What is it? What is it? What part of Chicago are you going to tomorrow? Cicero. There are presidential monuments there? Yes, I personally wouldn't worry about it. It's not worth Googling. What do you think you are going to be gone overnight for? Thing in a way where if it is a scavenger hunt. If I am in Cicero all day, at a certain point, the trains running to the loop, so I may have to spend the night. The trains may have stopped running to the loop, so I may have to spend the night in Cicero. Trains don't stop until like 2 in the morning, and they operate again beginning at 5. Well, either way, I may be gone overnight. Okay, but is there a chance you may have to leave Cicero? Yes, but I will still be hanging around Chicago. What other areas? The loop, I guess. Okay. Why are you asking me these questions, I asked. I just have grown a little suspicious of you, Peter answered. About what? I feel like there is more to why you want to go down to the loop so much than to worship the Lord than the fact Marcus is your boyfriend. What makes you think that? Well, most religious services are like an hour long, and the fact you left at 8 and didn't arrive back until after sunset I find to be suspicious. Well, there was nothing to worry about. You sure? I am sure. Peter then left the room.